President Biden has bowed to the inevitable and ended his re-election campaign. And while belated and begrudging, his decision is in the best interests of the country. He clearly isn't capable of doing the job of president for another 4 years, and he was headed for a crushing defeat against Donald Trump.
When getting COVID's the best thing to happen to you in the last 45 days, things are not going well.
Republicans are saying the decision is an insult to the voters who supported Mr. Biden in primaries, and there's no doubt that the Democratic establishment wanted him out. Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, and Barack Obama orchestrated what in the end was an insider coup. One shouldn't forget that they were all in for Mr. Biden as long as they thought he could win. Only when the polls showed he was a likely loser and the Democratic electorate revolted did they plot to force his ouster. In that sense, the voters prevailed and forced the establishment's hand, but by rights, the Democrats should pay some electoral price for their complicity in covering for Mr. Biden's growing infirmity.
I know I'm not a young man. State the obvious.
Mr. Biden's decision to run again was a selfish act. The one man that challenged him, Dean Phillips, was savaged by the liberal establishment, but the disastrous June 27 debate exposed the con.
With dealing with everything we have to do with
GOP vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance is demanding that Mr. Biden resign immediately, claiming that if he can't run for 4 more years, he can't serve for 6 more months. But those are different tenures, and we don't think that his resignation is in the country's interest.
We are excited about Kamala being at the top of the ticket, and I have suggested that the president should resign. The reason is, if everyone acknowledges that he is incapable of running a campaign, then he's clearly incapable of running the country. I mean, he has the nuclear codes. He has major decisions he has to make every single hour of every day.
Adversaries may try to exploit a lame duck and enfeebled President Biden, but they could also test a new President Harris as she learns the job of Commander-in-Chief. The administration's foreign policy has essentially been run for some time by what amounts to a committee, and that is probably the safest path for what is undeniably a risky next few months. Republicans would do better by the country and more for their own political interests if they sent a public message that adversaries shouldn't seek to exploit this period, that they'll support a lame duck Mr. Biden if he has to use military force to defend US interests. This is what leaders of past generations would have done.
We beat Donald Trump once and we're going to beat him again.
Democrats will want Americans to forget all of this Biden drama and settle on a new nominee quickly. Mr. Biden was quick to endorse Kamala Harris, and already others have followed suit, including high-profile progressives Gavin Newsom, California's governor, and New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I'm endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris because she's ready to step up, bring our party together, go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump, and win in November.
Media attention will now focus on the most formidable candidate against Mr. Trump.
We have 3 weeks. We could have 4 town halls in each geography in this country, invite the best and brightest Democrats. This could be the most extraordinary opportunity that we've had in generations to reset, re-energize, recommit.
Neither side can win without the sensible, moderate middle. They can't do it. But yet no one's going that direction.
Happy Juneteenth!
Certainly Ms. Harris has experience as a vice president, but she proved to be a lousy candidate in her own right in 2019, dropping out before the first contest.
It is with deep regret, but also with deep gratitude, that I am suspending our campaign today.
At 59 years old, Ms. Harris can turn the age issue back against the 78-year-old Mr. Trump. She'll have the strong support of many on the left, and she can perhaps increase enthusiasm among the young and minority voters who've been moving to the Republicans. Her biggest liability is that she carries the policy legacy of the Biden years. Mr. Biden was losing to Mr. Trump even before the debate, owing to inflation, disorder abroad, and the long-running border crisis.
This whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
She's even more of a left-wing culture warrior than Mr. Biden. She'll also have to answer for her role in covering for Mr. Biden's cognitive decline.
Joe Biden's legacy of accomplishment over the past 3 years is unmatched in modern history. In one term, he has already, yes, you may clap.
All of this suggests that Democrats who want to win should seek an open debate and let the delegates decide at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago the week of August 19.